Okay, let's talk about an idea that could completely reshape your workday. We're going to explore this concept of creating an appointment with yourself that is so valuable, so non-negotiable, that you wouldn't even think about canceling it.
So let me just ask you a question and be honest. That one big project, the game-changing idea that could really move the needle for you, where is it right now? If you're anything like me, it's probably just sitting there on the back burner, waiting for that perfect moment that, let's face it, never seems to show up.
And if you're struggling to make any real progress, this is almost certainly why. Your entire day gets hijacked, doesn't it? You start off with great intentions, but then this avalanche begins. The inbox that never ends, the constant pings from all your apps, and oh yeah, those quick meetings that are never quick. Your most valuable brain power ends up getting rented out to everybody else's priorities. This constant fight for our own attention. This brings us to what we can call the distraction dilemma. It is a genuine crisis in the way we work today. And honestly, just admitting that it's a real thing is the first, most critical step to actually fixing it. What's so sneaky about all this is the psychology behind it. We get a little hit of dopamine every time we answer an email or reply to a chat. It feels productive. We feel busy. But here's the thing. Busyness is not progress. It's usually just a frantic dance of doing shallow, easy tasks, while the deep, important stuff, the mission-critical work, gets pushed off to that imaginary time we call later. So, here's a little thought experiment. What if you valued your own focus time as much as you'd value a meeting with, say, your biggest client or your boss? What would actually change if your time for deep thinking was just as locked in and non-negotiable? And that right there brings us to the core, powerful idea of this whole explainer. It's time to completely reframe how you think about your focus time. It is no longer just some empty space in your calendar. From now on, it's your $1,000 appointment. Just think about that number for a second. $1,000. If you had an appointment in your calendar that was worth that much money, would you let a random notification pull you away from it? Would you just casually cancel it to hop on a quick call? No way. You'd protect it like a fortress. And that's the value we need to assign to our own focus. So what is this $1,000 appointment exactly? Well, we're calling it a deep work block. Let's just break down this definition. It's pre-scheduled, so it's not random. It's between 50 and 90 minutes long, which is kind of the sweet spot for focus without burning out. It is for a single task, no multitasking allowed. And the most important part of all, it is absolutely 100% non-negotiable. Okay, so let's get practical. Enough with the theory, let's talk about the how. This is the deep work blueprint, and you'll see it's a really simple system. And you know what? That's what makes it so powerful. The entire game plan is right here. First, you're going to schedule 2 of these blocks every single day. That's it, just 2. Second, set a timer for somewhere in that 50 to 90 minute sweet spot. And third, and this is probably the most important part, before you even start, you decide on one and only one critical outcome that you are going to achieve in that time. And this is just so important, I have to say it again. You are not blocking out time to work on the report. No, you are blocking out time to finish the first draft of the executive summary. You see the difference? That specificity is everything. It turns a vague idea into a clear mission. It's the difference between just wandering around and actually marching toward a destination. Now, putting this stuff in your calendar, that's the easy part. The real challenge, but also the real win, is in protecting that focus. This is where the whole mindset has to shift. This slide just lays it out so perfectly. Look at the contrast. On the left, you've got the old way, kind of passive, reactive, treating your focus like it's cheap and anyone can interrupt it. But on the right, that's the new way, proactive, intentional. This is where you start treating your focus time as sacred. You stop waiting around for inspiration to strike. You show up for your scheduled appointment with it, no matter what. This quote right here. This is the heart of the whole philosophy. You are the most important person you're going to have a meeting with all day. I mean, your progress, your goals, they all depend on you showing up for yourself. So treat it with that level of respect. Put a sign on your door, turn off your phone, close every single browser tab. You have to defend the block. All right, we've talked about the why, and we've talked about the how. So now comes the most important part, actually moving from just knowing this stuff to doing it. Let's get your very first block on the calendar. And I am being completely serious here. The value you get from listening to this is basically zero if you just think, that's a nice idea. The real value gets unlocked the second you take action. So as we wrap up, I want you to actually open your calendar app, like right now.
Let's just do this together, okay? Step 1, pick a time tomorrow morning. Block out 60 minutes. Step 2, give it a title that defines your one critical outcome. Not work, something specific like outline chapter 3. And step 3, make a mental commitment. This is your $1,000 appointment. It is not going to be moved. And I'll just leave you with this final question. I mean, really imagine it. 10 protected high-value appointments with your most important goals every single week. That's 200 a month, over 2,000 in a year. What feels impossible right now that would suddenly become inevitable?